Hello everybody, welcome or welcome back. Thank you so much for stopping by, clicking on the video, and spending some time with us today. So we're going to get right into it today with some animal oracle cards. I do have some pre-messages that I was getting while I was meditating, and there go our first cards. Underneath the deck, we have Unicorn, Infinite Possibilities. You are the sovereign of the seen and the unseen worlds. Beauty transforms you. Listen to the spirits of light. Abandon the darkness. Go beyond the ordinary and become the legendary. So with the Unicorn card, you have a very specific and specialized mission in this lifetime, or a specialized energy, something that not everybody offers, and you may take it for granted because you're always in your own energy, but you're so remarkable and unique. And in this case, many of you are coming across as very mystical and otherworldly, almost like you're in the world but not of it. And coming out with that incredible combination, we have the squirrel and the eagle. And so, in addition to this otherworldly, wispy, and other, beyond this realm magical capacity that you have to catch people's attention, this squirrel is all about being almost understated in many ways, because the squirrel is almost taken for granted. It's someone who moves about the environment largely even unnoticeable by people, at least in my climate. I mean, not everybody has squirrels. I recognize that. I mean, but yeah, so in the Midwest, squirrels are everywhere, but the more I am out in the country, the less I see them. But they're very curious and quick, and they can sail across big distances just by jumping and manipulating their body and their tail. It is threatening to rain here. I'm going to see what I can get in, but let's get to it. So the squirrel says always prepared. They're always foraging and putting things away for later. So much do they put away for later that they sometimes don't even realize what they've saved up. And so in this way, sometimes we need to go through our own stores and our storage bins and things, and the dark areas of our wardrobes, for instance, and get rid of the things that no longer serve that forward purpose where we're going, so that we can prepare and make space for things that are going to sustain the journey of where we're going. And so your resourcefulness is very on point right now. You are the expert of hard work and hard play. Your cheerful and fun disposition is a blessing to everyone. Don't let life's distractions take you off course. Make a plan for the future. Life will give you all you need. So you've got that very traditional energy at first glance. So many people may just overlook you because you're so simple in this way, or maybe some people take your look for meaning something and just leave it as that, but you are very understated in there. For the people who notice you, they notice this unicorn energy simmering below the surface, the magic of the squirrel. And so eagle reads mastery. You're on a spiritual journey beyond the sky. Let go of the past and soar. You're guided by the winds of spirit. Your wisdom inspires the world. And there's definitely elements of you that are beyond this time and space with the unicorn, but there's also this very earthly part of you that is beyond normal perspective. You try to transcend your emotionality in the moment, and you try to always search for meaning and understanding before responding, rather than even emotionally reacting. And so there's a lot of you here that are that you're a blend, a very interesting, intricate, woven blend of this magical and mundane, but it helps you to create some type of otherworldly energy. And the eagle comes through with a lot of not only mastery, but leadership as well. Um, yeah, and it's some type of a cosmic destiny or cosmic understanding here of your magical capacity and being prepared for anything. So let's see what comes out here. Oh, we've got some Janice. Take another little piece of my heart now, baby. So I think you've stolen a lot of hearts, and you're just simple. Oh yeah, your sense of style is just their vibe. So you've caught somebody's attention. It may be somebody local or a number of people locally, rallying groups to gossip and discredit your achievements and efforts, though. Okay, so we've got some folks that aren't so happy about your energy. I'm seeing how dark it's getting. It's very dim. The clouds are thick and grayish black today over towards the south. But we've got some sunlight over here, so I'm just going to keep going with this. Let's see. What do the clouds have to say about our reading today? We've got compromise on what's for dinner, not with values, and independent, aloof. I feel like you've kind of found yourself going in a different direction. And so if some types of engagements are not offering the vibe that you want, you're going to separate off from that group think mentality, and they might think that you're being aloof and separated and divisive in a way, but you're not willing to compromise on your values in that way. So you're just maybe not showing up in the same way that you others were used to you doing. And we have Neptune coming out over here with there is no spoon. So there's no problem here for you. You're just vibing with what you are into. You're in the realm of infinite possibility. So it's like, I guess some Harry Potter references. Sorry for anybody who now despises the political associations, but uh, about when they give the Viritus serum, or not that, it was Felis, Felixis, whatever. It's Felicities. Anyways, it was some kind of um, potion that made you so that you couldn't. Everything went your way. It was the ultimate lucky potion, and so it was like leading the character to go and do these things. Like logically you would have thought, well, if I need to do this, I need to go and do that without distraction. I'm on a mission. The quickest way from point A to point B is always a direct line. But then it was coming through recently that it's like when you need to get down a mountain, the quickest way is to uh, be in a rock slide. But is that the safest way? No. And so there's a way that we look for the nooks and the crannies, the footholds when we're making the moves that we're making. And so it's like I, you're just moving with the flow, and it's leading you in directions that you're not even aware of at the moment. It's just, or is that the wrong way to say this? It's about like being so much in the flow, you're like, oh, well, now it's time for this. And then you get going on that. You might hit some kind of either a creative block or a realistic block, like, oh, I'm building this thing, but I don't have the right tool. I'll go and get that tool at a later date. Now I'm going to go and do this other thing. It's just not delaying when there's a redirect. It's just like bouncing off of one thing and going straight to the other. And that's kind of that squirrel energy. It's like prepared for anything, ready for anything. That's like, why would we be fearful or resistant if we knew that we couldn't lose, if we knew that we were always going the direction that best served us? We wouldn't waste any of our precious time, energy, or attention delaying or being distracted or trying to carve our way through some type of mountain instead of just going going around it because there's no spoon, right? There's no mountain in front of us. Just go towards the direction of your bliss and things will automatically work out, is kind of the energy that we're getting there. And with this Neptune energy, not only does it double down on the mystical properties of Neptune, especially right now, we have Saturn and Neptune together, which it probably happens. Boy, you know what? I didn't actually study for that because even though the slower moving versus the faster moving planets, um, I could assume that Saturn's full orbit would be enough to pass it. I would throw out the number, something like 84 is sticking in my head, but Saturn's cycle is much shorter at 29-ish, 28, 29. And so I'm not sure. It might be a lot shorter, like 40 years, but anyways, I should have done my study on that one, I guess. In any event, it doesn't happen very often, maybe a couple times in a sequence. I'm seeing red flags, unanswered prayers. The point that I'm getting at with Saturn and Neptune together, it's like spirit and matter, and so it's bringing things that have become displaced in the ethers, bringing them home. And so there's a lot of reclaiming our energetic projection energy, reclaiming accountability for an uplifting type of an outcome. So it's like the more that we hold on to, the more that we will be weighed down in the material. And there's something that's coming through about trusting the magic is just as worthy as liberating manners. So I did have these channeled messages. Let me get into these before I keep going, because I feel like it kind of got derailed there. So today's the equinox, the balance of the light and the dark, the turning equal day and night. So it's the return of the darkness here in the northern hemisphere. The first thing that came through is don't believe everything that you think. Thought is reciprocal. So it can be reciprocating between our own inner dialogues, if we have that, or between our emotional responsiveness and perceptions of the world around us, kind of that inner looping, or observer bias, or it can be exchanged between self and the environment, self and other, or seeing what other and another other would be exchanging. It can create a lot of inner belief structures and perspectives that create unnecessary wedges in relationships. And I'm sure that we can all see how those things can happen. So it's not only about the patterns of unawareness that others have. Of course, it's our own determination to be committed to our own accountability, because that's where we really break through any unawareness of how we are either participating or creating our own, let's say, victimization in this circumstance, or perpetuating something, like just keeping the gossip going by being giving them something to talk about, or being obscure on purpose, or there's all these different ways that we can engage in something. Like the people that go back and forth in a relationship, like what are they really getting in that argument? There's something that they're learning, or that we are learning. And then tolerance of normalized yet highly toxic behavior in environmental situations. We have this predisposition, if we've had it since childhood, where those other people othering have been toxically looping with each other, and we've been either caught up in it some type of way, trying to mediate or lead others, fix others, or protect others, or get the hell out of something and away from other people, and their projections and how they throw energy in our directions, and how we choose to either absorb, deflect, deny, or reflect how do we escape or embody what we choose? It was coming through as the you are this, you are that statements versus the I am statement. And it's really the fear threshold breakthrough moment we were talking about recently with the point of realization and whatnot. So this fear threshold is between the patterns that we have engaged and the habitual things that we have normalized or that have been modeled for us. It's between those old patterns and the next phase. And then from there, how we are able to sustain the reordering of the inner cellular structures and molecules and neural networks and charges that we've been working through and organizing. It's like our own ability to move between the pattern and the transcendence. And so it was coming through as this don't believe everything you think, initially as fears of people that we want to care about and we want them to care about us. But there's a fear threshold that is because others have demonstrated that they didn't care about us in the way that we thought that we needed them to care about us. So there's this discrepancy between love languages, whether we are a verbalizer, a physical touch person, somebody who buys gifts or other things. Some of those are not as deep as others to the one who doesn't understand each one the same way, right? You can get what I mean. Some of those are going to be more meaningful to you than others. And so I was getting that there's this witnessing within ourselves and others the observer bias of evil eyes, and then also being able to move away from that fear threshold, being sunk down into the overthinking and anxiety of what that might mean, and how that sticky vibrational resonance might stick to us if we linger in that old order, versus moving through into that next phase of faith that the all-seeing eye, not in the creepy way, but in the way of unity consciousness, that we are protected because of our own ability to see through that. And I was getting judge not, yet lest ye be judged. So I was also getting an image of Isis wanting to step through, and she was showing herself standing in a canoe, and it was a dark landscape with a simple winding stream moving towards like what looked like a mountain, like a brick wall, so to speak. And she's standing in the canoe, and she just kind of pointed forward towards the mountain, and it became like a cave. And as the canoe starts to move towards the cave, I was getting this interesting reminder of when I was a child. We went to Disneyland out in California, and there was this ride called Small World, and they had this song. Some of you will know it. It was like, it's a small world after all. And it goes on and on and on. It was kind of like creepy though, because there were all these tiny little people, like childlike people, dressed in all these fabulous worldly attires. And I was fascinated and mesmerized. And I thought it was the most amazing thing. But many people were creeped out, and I could see why, because they were so much the early animatronics, which was kind of like going into the cave. So Isis is saying to like go in this cave, and there's this creepy little song from back in the day, and then it was like the animatronics versus the current AI rising, and then I was hearing the Animatrix, which is like a cult classics, not for everybody. So anyways, there's some level of nostalgia, surfacing memories. I know this has been coming through for myself in different ways as well. And so then I was getting this vibrational shift fully embodied in this image of of Isis again, just like standing with this large staff, and like, okay, I guess I'm doing it the wrong side. It would have been her left hand holding this big staff, and she takes it. I'm seeing a chickadee, and the chickadees are on this card here. She takes it and boom, she snaps it into the ground, and it like presents these sparks from the earth. And she's just standing there, and she's got, this posture of grace on the one hand. Her leg, her right foot and her right hand are kind of back in this graceful gesture, but the left side is declaring. And so it was like standing proud, declaring something. And she holds the power of the resurrection of the inner divine masculine within each of us, the ability to choose and to self-correct or self-organize, in that way also to self-pollinate. So the ability to re-synergize the self and to get ourselves going again, to take in nectar from multiple sources, to re-alchemize and to get something moving again within your system. So I don't know if you need some medicinal wild gathered herbs or something that might help you to do something with your body that has been having some type of anomaly or something. But with this always prepared, it's like, be resourceful and look at your environment first and foremost before consulting beyond yourself. So you're independent and aloof, really developing your inner magic and looking deeply to your process. I'm really loving the chickadees coming up for this, and they're playing on the sunflowers that have dried up for the season. And it did say playfulness on the squirrel. Breadcrumb trail, follow the clues. There's an overlooked opportunity that's coming to mind possibly for you. One where you felt safe to be yourself. And this person over here is maybe somebody that you had, not someone, rather, this overlooked opportunity. For some of you, it may be a person, since I personified it in that way. There was some type of a dreamy wish that was created here with this prayerfulness, but then there were indicators that it was best to leave that alone, so you bounced off, you redirected. But here you are running back into the spoon again in this situation, and it says you light up the room. Things were dull, lifeless, and routine before you joined the team. So I don't know if you've gotten a new place that you've gone to, or a new role that you're playing, but there's some type of an opportunity that may be coming in for you in regards to this place or this group or this person. Maybe a love interest for some of you, many of you, or a job opportunity, leadership opportunity. We were talking about this eagle mastery, because before I flip this one, you have a transcendent personality, you have a magical capacity, and you're prepared for anything that arises. And so you can speak to things no matter what is posed for you, because you're in touch with this magical capacity. It comes through as the piercing sound of the universe. So just the tone of your voice, the things that you intone and evoke from others, the way that you're able to, not even having any concept or basis of understanding what they're walking into a situation, feeling in their inner person, you speak to them in some type of magical ability that sets you apart. Clarity and realization. Maybe you're coming to understand this about yourself with this mastery, and you've been honing this ability from an early age, because children that are in the middle of different situations learn how to navigate people. They learn how to read people and to I mean, if they choose to manipulate people, but most people that are on the uppity up and on the spiritual team, if they can transcend their own shadow space, they're there to help others reach their true north. So that's what we have here. True north, I feel you are my destiny. Aligned, steadfast, and focused. It's like no matter how many distractions you can encounter, you just bring it right back to the magic. You read people, you read the room, and you wear it like a glove, like one of those elegant gloves the ladies wore that would be up to the beyond the elbow maybe. Free ride, take it easy. All right, you taking it easy? I don't know. I don't know if I can keep my hands to myself. Yeah, I think that with the free ride, it's just like you're just redirected. You're a free spirit. You're chillax to the max. And yeah, somebody can't wait to try to woo you, to shift the focus onto them because they want to catch your eye. They can't help but love you even if others gossip. So it may be something or someone coming up in a group where there is some type of hater vibe because you've got this compromised values and somebody rallying groups against you. I feel like someone here that is on your side doesn't have to be a romantic person, but somebody can't help but love you, and it could be just agape love, just for who you are. I mean, they see who and what you are in these infinite possibilities. Compromise, choose battles, yield, share, surrender, and getting advice from friends. So I feel like we're not really getting anywhere with the handwritten cards. Let's put those to the side. Distracted by the shape of you. Okay. Somebody's getting into their objectification vibes here. So I think that if that's you, you're being told to shift your focus because all you need is another distraction at this point. The physicality is absolutely fun and enjoyable and has many sacred qualities, but right now there's infinite possibility for the magic of love surrounding you. Yeah, it's like some extraordinary, legendary love capacity that you have here with this Neptune agape love that's coming through. And there's probably many people that hold you in very high esteem. And so, yeah, I think there's a lot of grace also that you always have to employ, or choose rather to employ with your relationships. And so I think that there's others doing these, creating these wedges in relationships, but there's something about this. It's a small world after all. Things have a way of coming back around. Yeah, karma does. Communication. There's a lot of spoken word coming into this reading today, and because of you being so magical as well, I think that you're aware of what's being said. It was coming through also, don't forget to don't believe everything you think. Full circle to me feeling before this, as I was starting this whole thing about other people believing things about me that aren't true. And I think that there's a small segment of people that doubt their own magic. And because I'm breaking through into my self-belief of my magic, I think that they're talking amongst themselves about my audacity to be so magical as well. But I mean, your magic stands on business. It is what it is. I mean, Isis came in and she was like, just stand on that business. You don't need to defend. I mean, I'm not going to go into that. Delight. Yes, you are absolute embodiment of a light energy, this infinite light unicorn. What's below that? Coyote. the revealer of truth. You have a lot of trickster energy as well within your situation here. It says, don't take things too seriously at this time. Make time to play. Doubling on that. Great wisdom comes from laughter and laughing at your own folly. Look out for the traps and the tricks of life and learn from them. So I often say it's none of our business what others think of us. You know, if somebody needs to doubt their intuition by doubting ours, you know what happens? Some of them are going to say, well, I'm not going to follow Dina, an impressive warrior. I'm going to develop my own intuition. Good job. You know what I say? Thank you. That's all I ever prayed for you, is to follow your own damn breadcrumbs. I mean, I'm just here to open you up to other ideas. So doubters are going to doubt and lovers are going to love. And that's why some of us are up here in this full spectrum energy, outgrowing these old cycles. See, these skulls in the foreground are talking about the life, birth, and rebirth and death cycles. And the activation of our full light pillar. So it's the way that we not only embody the light and the frequency of enjoyment, gratitude, faith, and abundance, and just love in general, then it's like this. It says the frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more we evoke from others. And so that's why people can't help but love you, because when you walk in the room, it shifts the dynamic. And you just, it's like Moses parting the waters. It's like you parting the consciousness waters as you walk into the room with this big, enormous staff of truth and light. It's like the shepherd imagery is coming through as two cards come out here. And they are freedom and endless opportunities. Yeah, there are more opportunities maybe than you have previously seen in this situation, because of that overlooked quality, or like we said with the squirrel is often overlooked. So you may have been overlooked for other opportunities and they may have been given to others. But the more freedom that you give yourself to self-define, self-organizing matter, yes, that is manifestation. And it's like, you don't wait for anybody to tell you. Self-organizing matter is this piercing sound of the universe. It's like they might not give you the piece of paper that tells you that they're recognizing you, but believe you me, they are not mistaking you. They see you. And that's why they wouldn't give you this promotion previously. But you're gaining a lot of this freedom to elevate anyways. It doesn't matter if the piece of paper says it or not. It's whether you do the thing or not. You are somebody who's bringing your process. And it's coming through also. This is beautiful. Emergence, luminescence, and sacral chakra. So we're talking here about the womb space, energetically speaking. So the ability for us to create from emotions, and a dynamic emotional center is where all things truly begin to be put into motion, because it's like, well, I mean, arguably it could be the